Hey guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here, and welcome to the Piemonte Calcio career mode in FIFA 20. It's time. Let's finally see what this team is about. Yes, I have decided to do just a little one-season career mode with Piemonte Calcio. Last year, actually, I did a little preview career mode with Juventus, but I don't know who that team is anymore. Piemonte Calcio. These are the boys. Let's check them out. They have got critical domestic continental success and brand exposure. And the kits, you'll get a better look at it in game, but it's a very interesting looking kit. It doesn't even at all seem reminiscent of the actual Juventus counterpart in real life. But no, I figured I was going to do a career mode. I couldn't do a full career mode, multiple episodes or anything like that, because time that I have with FIFA 20 at Gamescom to capture is quite limited. So I decided that I was just going to do a little one-season career mode. And we are going to play a game or two, but it's just really going to be that one game, and then we'll sim ahead to the end of the season, advance ahead. And we'll actually talk about how advancing ahead, really with some of the changes in career mode this year, are really going to be, it's going to be quite detrimental. So you guys can talk about you can just decide whether or not you like that or not. But I did end up making my manager. I did go to Piemonte Calcio. We were drawn into our Champions League group, and this is what our team looks like by default. You got Mandzukic, Dybala, Ronaldo, the midfield trio of Ramsey, Pjanic, and Matuidi, Alexandro, Chiellini, Bonucci, Danilo. So the whole gang's there, with the whole Juventus team, the starting 11, decent substitutes, some brilliant players on the bench to have as well, and just, you know, class all over the pitch and in the reserves, in the substitutes and everything. The only thing that's missing is the Juventus badge, the Juventus kits, and of course the stadium, which you will soon find out is actually not in the stadium either. But I pretty much decided, why not do a little preview of FIFA 20 career mode? So this isn't just taking a look at Piemonte Calcio in FIFA 20 in career mode specifically, but just also consider this a bit more of an in-depth look at FIFA 20 career mode as well, because in my preview video with Salford, we pretty much just really quickly went over the team and the players and the squad list and all that, and now I want to have a bit more of an in-depth look at career mode, see if I can really see as much as possible. When it comes to player training, that seems to be all the same. There are some newer drills that they've put in, and some which obviously in turn have different attributes that can be trained. And we decided to go through and give a handful of drills. So Matteo Perrin's going to get a drill. Dybala's going to get some drills, as are a couple of other players once again as well. Delit, I think I gave something to. Yep. So all of these players were going to get trained up. Training is pretty much effectively the exact same. It is interesting with dynamic player potential if training is going to have there or around about the same sort of effect as it has in previous career modes where there wasn't dynamic player potential. And with simming ahead, we are going to take a look at growth as well at the end of the season. It's going to be pretty interesting though, because with simming, I think if you were to, let's say when you were actually playing games, if you were to pick one younger player and just played him constantly, and he was really doing quite well, then that would obviously affect his growth. But in Sims, I'm not so sure. Anyway, something a little bit new, something that we did see in the Salford City Road to Glory announcement was, of course, the player chat and player morale and how that affects it. They, of course, you get welcomed by the club captain at the beginning of a new career mode, and that captain, of course, with Piemonte Calcio is Jorginho Chiellini. We just pretty much said, thank you very much, mate. Happy to be here. We've got some work to do. Decided to sim a couple of games, first and foremost in the Asia Elite Cup, the little pre-season tournament that we decided to do. And just decided to get a couple of games in. I also decided that I was going to play a game at one point as well. And I'll tell you one thing that I'm actually not a big fan of. You may have noticed there that it went straight to the result after the sim game. Like it did. I did not skip. It doesn't tick down like it did before in career mode. So if you take a look at this, I promise I'm not skipping ahead when I do this. I pressed advance. Players warming up, it goes straight to the result. I actually had Jared HD point that out to me, and I'm not sure if I'm a big fan, because every now and again when I just let the simulation roll and try to commentate and stuff, it was I thought it was quite suspenseful. But no, that's a bit disappointing. I'm hoping that that's not the case when the game launches, and who knows, I might have a word and see if that's going to be the case. But regardless, we had an offer come in for Juan Cuadrado, a player that, I mean, I wouldn't mind too much, maybe potentially selling. I mean, the guy's almost 31. And we are now getting to see one of the new settings that negotiations take place in. Of course, I believe this is it's not the restaurant, but there are like waiters and stuff walking around, but like a skyline sort of setting. Now this is pretty cool. It's like the exact same sort of animations and everything, and it's really all the same model movements. And if a player gets, if a deal struck, then you'll still shake hands in the exact same way. If a manager's not happy with an offer that you send them, they'll absolutely go off in the exact same manner. I may have timed that to perfection, but yeah, unfortunately we couldn't get a deal going for Juan Cuadrado, but at least we got to get a bit of a look at the one of the new settings. We will get to see pretty shortly too, as we are going to go to try to sign Paul Pogba, potentially a return. And by a return, I mean not a return, because he's never played for Piemonte Calcio before. He's played for Juventus, but these are two completely different clubs. I mean, as we all know. I am going to put in a bit of an offer, though, just to see if we can bring at least one signing in. So I will get to be able to try out the negotiations for myself, which, again, when it comes to buying players, that seems relatively unchanged. Like, this setting is all particularly familiar, especially with it being in FIFA 19. So I don't even know if it was in FIFA 20 as well. It may have been. But yeah, so that setting is all the same as well. But of course, the newer ones, and we were able to get a $100 million agreement for a fee for Paul Pogba. So we're going to sign him, bring him to Piemonte Calcio, and now we're going to get a bit of a look at another one of the settings that negotiations take place in. This is the wage. This is for meeting with players and agreeing on a wage. We're meeting in the restaurant setting, which is pretty interesting and pretty cool as well, because I wouldn't be too surprised if deals like this do get struck every now and again from like, hey, do you want to meet out for lunch and we'll just figure out how much you want to get paid a week? I mean, I can absolutely see that happening. So this is another cool little setting where your manager gets to meet with a player and his agent. You pretty much just go through the motions, as we will right here, and you will see that it's all fairly similar. The real only difference when it does come to player negotiations, contract negotiations, and trying to get through transfers and all that stuff is literally just the settings, and these are the only two. Paul Pogba was after 200k a week. I did notice that the wages and all that stuff seem to be a little bit more reflective and make a bit more sense as well. I still need probably a bit more time with the game to get a better idea to see if it actually is more appropriate. But I know that they said they were going to try to target wage and trying to make it a little bit more realistic. And definitely you'll notice a lot of goalkeepers and defenders seem a lot more expensive this year as well. But regardless, we are going to play one game here in the little pre-season friendly tournament that they have here. It's going to be Piemonte Calcio versus Real Madrid. Thought, hey, this might be a pretty good game just to let Ronaldo loose in. So this is the game that we are going to play, and I should remind you or let you know that it is world-class difficulty again. At the beginning of every new FIFA, I try to set it down to world-class so that way I can sort of just get used to it a little bit, and we will see if I need to bump it up to legendary a little bit quicker or not. But kicking off underway, this is the first game I ever played with Piemonte Calcio, and I'm hoping that I can maybe get a win in the career mode too as well. As we are going down the left-hand side here, Ronaldo playing a little 1-2 with Douglas Costa, has options in the middle, has Miralem Pjanic, has a shot which is deflected off of Sergio Ramos and goes wide, although the danger not completely over there. Of course, Real Madrid were in the game to an extent. Ronaldo got a fair bit of space and decided to just run at the defence. Only one player up ahead in Paulo Dybala, but got him to the left side, was able to just burn his defender, puts it onto his right foot, finesses it past, and that is 1-0 to, I love how it even says just PIE, pie in the bloody score on the scoreboard as well. But how about this too? Something else as well, nice little new animations and celebrations when you run to the sideline camera. That's also pretty cool. But yeah, Paulo Dybala scored the first goal for Piemonte Calcio, and of course desperately trying to get Cristiano Ronaldo on the team sheet, or on the score sheet, should I say. But another chance, this one for Douglas Costa. Thought I was going to get tackled, but was just able to score, and that is now 2-0. And once again, yet another one. I love how the players literally grab hold of the camera and just shake it around. That looks sick. Really, really does. Of course, it's of course awesome to see Paul Pogba in the Piemonte Calcio kit once again as well. But I'll be honest, man, world-class difficulty, I just couldn't help but notice it was just a bit too easy for me. I mean, yes, this is obviously a pretty class team, but we cut it back. Cristiano Ronaldo, there's his goal. He was going to get it at some point, and we got it very, very early in the second half. We know that celebration from previous career modes as well and from previous FIFA games. Ronaldo giving his big sue to the camera. And yeah, it was really just a riot, honestly. I'm not even kidding. It's not even over. If I've got to be completely honest with you, Zinedine Zidane's fucking bloody fuming, and couldn't help but notice he's got some very wide, broad shoulders there. That model was looking pretty interesting, but Cristiano Ronaldo getting it done. No surprises there. Looking pretty tidy in the Piemonte Calcio kit, if you don't mind me saying so. But it was not over. Like I said, Dybala going in for a cross, wasn't able to get it past. They tried to clear it. Dybala just fighting for it, able to cut it back for Douglas Costa. Beautiful stuff. And it was 4-0, just a little past the hour mark. It was an absolute riot, and I'm definitely not playing a world-class difficulty when I start the Salford City Road to Glory career mode. That is for damn sure. But yeah, gotten a little bit of a good look now at career mode. Got a little look at FIFA 20 gameplay, and I'm really so far vibing with it at the moment. We'll just advance ahead to sim the final, which we did make at the preseason friendly tournament. Not that it really matters all too much, but decided to give it a little sim. And once again, you see, I would have let it roll. I would have let the suspense play out. I would have let it tick down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it just skips straight ahead from sims, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. But regardless, we had Adrian Rabo come and say that he wants to get played in the game against Lazio, and it's so good now that we can interact with these players because finally, after all these years, we can tell the players when they ask for game time to just bugger off. I'm so happy about that. That satisfies me so much. It's not probably the smartest thing to do because you're only gonna reduce their morale. There are literal questions in there that I don't even know why you would select them because all they do is just decrease your players' morale. There's no point to do that at all. But yeah, we are now going to get to see for the first time in any of my FIFA 20 videos, press conferences in action as well. Of course, I didn't have that in the FIFA 20 Salford City career mode video that I put together. But of course, you do get to do pre-match press conferences and post-match press conferences as well. So this was the first conference that I had to give after or as we were about to play the first game in the Champions League, since we have advanced ahead a little bit. I won't actually be playing any other games, but I will advance to the January transfer window and to the end of the season as well. But you get given 3 options to pick from. They're all different types of responses. Some could be encouraging, happy responses, angry responses, and a whole bunch of calm, collected responses. It's pretty easy to pick the response that is going to give your players and your team and whatnot morale boosts. It's very, very hard. I just wonder if this is not going to become a bit of a tedious, repetitive thing. I don't think it's something that happens from what I've gathered so far. It's not something that you have to do for every single game. Don't worry, you won't have to be doing press conferences every single league game, Champions League game. I think they've just sort of identified key dates and key games, like this being the first game of the Champions League. You get answered, or you get given questions that are specific to that, which I do like to see because it makes more sense that way. And obviously they're not going to come up with a select group of questions for like every single game of the season, which is nice to see. But no, the press conferences are looking good, and I really don't think it can be understated how important they are for you to do, because they're really going to increase players' morale if you get the questions right. And morale is going to play a huge factor. Take a look at this. I've got a 65 manager rating. That's not ideal. And yes, my ranking in the Serie A, as you'll see, is not great. But look at all the times that these players have come to me, and I've just not responded and not done anything. You look at Emre Can. He's literally just not. He's had enough. He was out the door. So many times that you'll have players come to you and ask you things. They'll come and chat with you, and if you don't respond to them, that means their morale's pretty much it could mean that it'll significantly affect their morale. As you see, Adrian Rabo saying that he needs to get away because he's not getting enough game time, and so I decided, all right, sure, let's see if we can sort something out for you. But if you actually take a look at down the bottom right-hand corner, his play performances are the thing that's letting him down. He's actually said he was happy with his play time, but so that confused me a little bit. I don't know if that's quite accurate, but you look at his overall player rating of 6.4. No wonder that he's not going to have the best of. He's not going to have the best of growths or anything like that, and it makes sense. Whereas you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, whose player performance is great, and you see his overall of 7.1, and the fact that he's banged in 14 goals in 20, a little over 20 or so appearances, and not even that, like 14 goals, 6 assists. But yeah, advancing ahead, it was a bit of a tough one for us because we got a pretty solid team, yet we were only managing to get into 4th place. Inter Milan just burning the rest of Serie A like crazy on 44 points after a possible 50 or 50-ish that they could have picked up. I think it was like 14 wins and 2 draws. It's absolutely crazy. But regardless, not 50, sorry, it was it'd be like 48 maybe. But it was mental. And our Champions League campaign wasn't that much better either. So simming was very, very rough this year. I wonder. I have noticed when you sim home games and away games, it doesn't seem like if you sim an away game, it has as big an effect. Yet, regardless of all that, we were not doing well. We decided to just sim all the way to the end of the season again. Would have played a few more games. Would have gone a bit more in depth, but just a little shorter time. I will have some other career mode videos coming soon, though, so don't you worry. But in the end, we were able to sort of, gather a little bit of momentum and get a bit better. We did finish in 2nd. If you just saw before that my manager rating once again tanked to like 45, but I mean, spoilers, I didn't get sacked this season, but I genuinely thought that I would. We ended up finishing in 2nd place, didn't do well in the Champions League, didn't do well in the Europa League, lost the Supercoppa Nazionale as well, and it was just not a good session. And in terms of overall growth, I think if you were to take younger players and really play them religiously, they would grow so much with dynamic player potential, but in simming games, doesn't seem to be the case. In terms of goals and stuff, no surprises that Cristiano Ronaldo dropped off by 2, but that's obviously just his age, 35 years of age. He scored a bunch of goals and clearly was the best player, had a 7.3 overall rating, was doing brilliantly, but you just hit a certain age, you just hit a certain point, 35, and you're just going to drop off regardless. There's only so much you can do. Of course, if you have a good season with an older player, it's actually going to stop his decline a bit, but it'll be interesting to see if Ronaldo had a really bad season if he would have dropped off by more than 2. I think with dynamic player potential, that's what it would have meant. But regardless, that is pretty much going to do it. The Piemonte Calcio FIFA 20 career mode. Just a little simulation career mode more than anything. We did get to see some gameplay though, so I'm hoping that you're happy about that. It's cool. It's crazy to see these guys in the game now. Juventus, rest in peace. But it is only Piemonte Calcio from now on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I mean, if you're going to maybe do some stuff with Piemonte Calcio, let me know in the comments down below. That is them in the game. They are here. They're out here. Let's go. Oh, boys. All right, well, that will do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is Jake, the MasterBucks Buckley. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you've enjoyed. And until the next one, have a good one. Bye-bye.